Welcome back to Mars for another nature figure review. Today we are looking at the REVOLTECH Armored Titan from Attack on Titan. And let me just tell you now, the figure looks great, it feels great, and best of all, you don't have to worry about the faceplate falling off, unfortunately, like the Attack Titan. With that out of the way, let's go ahead and cut to the chase and get this figure out of the box and see what all it comes with. Reiner is coming pretty packed. You're going to be getting 2 nice faceplates, 4 sets of hands. You have your Kaido stand, you've got an extra peg just in case something happens, and then you also have this piece here. Not exactly sure if this is going to be for the eyes. I don't think so. I think this is another piece that you can clip onto the figure in the back area. Now you see this piece here, this is actually the additional faceplate you get with this figure if you ordered overseas from the import sites in Japan. With Kaido, they have their exclusive accessories that they offer directly through their websites that you really don't have access to unless you pre-order from an import website. So I highly recommend going forward, if you are planning on collecting this line and you want to have all the goodies, that you go to your import sites and you can get exactly that. With that out of the way, let's go ahead and get Reiner out of the box and take a closer look, starting off with some size comparisons. For our first size comparison, we have the REVOLTECH Eren Yeager Attack Titan. Both of these figures look very good together, though I will say I'm leaning more towards the Armored Titan just because, you know, with the Attack Titan you have these little things like the gap right there. And then, wow, just seeing them side by side looks really great. The eyes pop as well. And yes, this is accurate to the anime manga. They are about the same height. Now let's move on. Next up, we have the Street Fighter gods currently right now in the action figure industry. We have Storm Arena's Ken Masters. Looks great, and I'm glad to see the Armored Titan is a bit taller than Ken. For me, it's just comfortable with me. Now let's continue on down the comparisons. And for our last size comparison, we have the Maximum Series Spider-Man and the Maximum Series Hulk. With that out of the way, let's bring this figure in and take a closer look at the aesthetic and articulation for the Armored Titan. Aesthetically, the figure, I feel like it looks great, but it could be a bit better. For me, I feel like the armored pieces for the Armored Titan should have had maybe a glossier finish or just been a bit brighter, in my opinion. You know, when the armor breaks in the anime manga, it shatters, right? So it kind of gives me like that, almost like a glass, you know what I mean? So I feel like the paint job could have been a little bit better. It could have been a little bit more brighter. This is more of a mute color scheme for this character. It still looks great, don't get me wrong, and the detailing is very nice. You can see the muscle tendons here all throughout, and then with the armor plating, it looks good as well. Even when you go and do stuff like this, it looks good. And I'm glad they allowed for this piece right here to be moving, because for me, it just takes me back to the scene in the anime or manga where Eren's got him in a headlock and you can see he's about to break like these back pads here. So I like that REVOLTECH's design and how they engineer their figures. This pretty much played into that and it worked well. So pretty nice there. But yeah, aesthetically, I would say the color scheme probably could have been a bit brighter, but overall it looks really good. And then I was worried about the eyes maybe not glowing or sticking out, but it looks like that's not a problem either. The eyes look great too. So yeah, aesthetically, awesome figure here. Could have been better, but you know, I'm still enjoying what we have here. For articulation, you know, it is a REVOLTECH, so there are some things to be aware of, and you know, if you've got the Attack Titan, then you kind of know what you're dealing with here. But this figure can look up this much. And you can even see like the Adam's apples here as well. All looks great. You can look down this much. Now you've got like a joint in here. As I mentioned earlier, when we were doing the size comparison for the Attack Titan, for Eren, there's a gap here. But for Reiner, you don't have that, which I think is great. So I love that they have that for this figure. So when he looks down, that's what you're looking at there. He can, of course, look side to side as well. And then even look. Yeah, wow, the figure looks so damn good. And then for your T-pose, there it is there. You got your butterfly joints. It looks great. It goes all the way around. You can see it here. For the elbows, I want to say they're single jointed with great range of motion. There's a lot going on, you know, and that's like the thing with these figures is that for some people this is a turn off because you can see that big joint, and that's just their aesthetic. That's how they get down, and it's not like that for every figure, but it is like that for the majority of them, and I would even say like the better ones. Wrist does rotate, hinge as well. You do have your swivel. You got a rocker up here at the top. For the abdomen area, you know, you got good range of motions. I mean, look at that. That tuck is incredible. And then going back, yeah, you're gonna get that gap there, but it still looks really good. I'm really digging. And then the eyes, you see the eyes pop in there. Look at that shit. Oh man, the eyes look so clean. And then you have like this diaper piece here, which it looks good. It sets great. So you can see the diaper piece and you can move it around. Here comes that light. Look at that. Ooh, so good. And then for the legs, you can get that 90. The knees look good as well, which is great because you want to have, you know, you want to have them in that running pose, right? But to smash through the wall. Looks good. The feet does extend out. You do have your boot swivel here, your calf swivel. Toe hinge, metal pins here for this peg, for the toes. I don't mind it. Again, it kind of, like I said with the Attack Titan, it gives it that extra flair and it helps pop on the figure. You got a little shine here and you got a little shine here. So you gotta be looking up and down, you know, really analyze this figure, this masterpiece we have before us. And then for our splits, nothing too crazy on the splits. You could probably maneuver it though, I would say, where you could get it a bit crazier. So, but I don't see no Titans doing splits. Maybe the female Titan, which we do have pre-ordered, and I believe it's coming out next month. So make sure you stick around for that review. And with this out of the way, let's go ahead and get into the pairs of hands and faceplates. Here's our first faceplate here. It looks really good, just a closed mouth, nothing too crazy, nice and stoic. And then we have our closed fist here, also looking good. And I love how the tendons come all the way down to the hand. Look at the detailing there. You see that? Incredible. Now, let's go ahead and take a look at some other faceplates here. First up, we have our open mouth. You'll see this when he's yelling, and you'll see this when he just smashes through the wall and he releases the steam through his mouth. That's why I think they included this open mouth faceplate here. Here is the bonus. This is the bonus faceplate, which is him grinning his teeth or smiling, whichever you want to view this as. I view this as him like, I view it as aggression, an aggression expression. So yeah, pretty good stuff here. Remember, pre-order from an import site if you want these bonus accessories, faceplates, because you're not going to get that if you go through BBTS, Entertainment Earth, and the list goes on. So import sites or eBay, choice is yours. Lastly, we've got our pairs of hands. I do enjoy how we have the bracket here. They all look great as well. We've got our relaxed hands, our open hands, and then we've got trigger hands. Now, you may ask yourself, why in the hell did they include these hands? Well, these hands are actually a pivotal role, or play a pivotal role in the anime manga, because these hands are supposed to represent Reiner holding Eren as they're both falling down the wall. If you've seen that in season 3, I believe. So that is why we have these hands. But for me, and I've been saying this since the Attack Titan, we should be getting miniature human statues for these Titans. One for Reiner, one for Eren, for Annie, for Zeke. You know, the list goes on. So they should have included that with this set, or they should have just sculpted Eren in the hand and be done with it. But that is why you have these trigger hands. So yeah, this is the armored Titan with the trigger hands, so he could be strapped up with the AKs and what have you, but that is the reason why you have these trigger hands, is because they're supposed to represent him falling down the wall with Eren in his hands, okay? And then that is going to cover it for the accessories, pairs of hands. we've got the stand, we've got the extra peg that I showed you earlier on, but let's now get into the conclusion for this review. Make sure you drop that like. If you're not subscribed, consider subscribing, and let's get into it. Ever since Kaido announced they were doing the Attack on Titan line, I've been very excited. And then earlier this year when we got the Attack Titan, that figure is incredible. It's not without its flaws, of course, but as a whole, I do enjoy the Attack Titan, and I even enjoy more so the Armored Titan because you're not running into any issues similar to the Attack Titan. I would say overall, as a character, I enjoy more the Attack Titan, but as a final product in hand, I have to go with the Armored Titan. It is a better product. You are getting 2 faceplates out the gate without including the exclusive faceplate. For Eren, you only had the 1 faceplate, and it's just a better all sculpt, I would say, and you're getting your values worth with the Armored Titan as opposed to the Attack Titan. If you are a fan of Attack on Titan, which is the greatest anime of all time, and you're in the 112 collecting community, then you should be getting these figures because these figures are great. They're masterpieces, and we don't have anyone really out there doing it, and if they do it, it's not going to turn out as great as these do, or will, or did. Kind of, am I an Attack Titan? Oh shit, I'm seeing the past, present, and future. Hold on, wait a minute. That being said, we already seen we got the Beast Titans up for pre-order. The Jaw Titan most likely will be the next one to go up for pre-order, and then we also have the Colossal Titan as well. I'm not sure if I'm gonna get the Colossal Titan. I really kind of want it. I think I'm gonna get it. Yeah, I think I'm gonna do it. Let's see what the price is first. But anyways, thank you all for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. Make sure you hit that like button, so consider subscribing, and we will see you all very soon in the next nature review.